one of the things that we like doing, obviously, is delving deeper into books. And you've just spent 3 weeks preaching on a book that only has 2 chapters.
Well, yeah, the book of Haggai, I'm sure you could do many more sermons than just 3, but yeah, we looked at it over 3 Sundays.
Okay, so give us an overview of Haggai, and then we'll dig deeper.
Sure, Haggai, obviously, it's a minor prophet, but there's nothing minor about the minor prophets, obviously. It contains 4 sermons, 4 messages from God through the prophet preacher Haggai. And we walk through all 4 of those, and each of them remind us of key things in our life, and also God, how God deals with his people, and how God always brings a message through a messenger that he sends at an opportune time in his providence.
I always remember Haggai because it's the last 4 books of the Old Testament. You know, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi. So he's pretty much up there at the end of the Old Testament narrative. So I'm assuming he's prophesying and preaching to Judah, not to Israel.
That's right. Yeah. It's post-exilic. He's a post-exilic prophet. The people, obviously, King Nebuchadnezzar came to the southern kingdom, Judah, and then they were into exile, 70 years. Haggai picks up in the first message that God brings through Haggai, which is chapter 1. They've been there for 16 years, back in the land, 16 years. And, you know, there's that well-known accusation or indictment that God brings through Haggai to the people in verse 2. The time has not yet come even for the house of the Lord or house of Yahweh to be rebuilt. And obviously chapter 1 unfolds that they were comfortable to live in their paneled houses.
Yeah.
So there was misplaced spiritual priorities, and that's really the first message of chapter 1, that there was misplaced spiritual priorities.
Always reminds me a little bit of Solomon, because it goes into details about Solomon building the temple, and it says, so Solomon was 7 years building the temple, but he was 14 years building his own place.
Yeah. Certainly, it begins with a quite a strong accusation, but then you see through chapter 1 when there's the appropriation of taking heed of the message that was given.
Yep.
They begin to turn from their ways, but the journey continues on. Haggai was a great book to unfold.
The Jews went back to the land under Ezra, and this is 16 years later. This is before Nehemiah or after Nehemiah?
Before, I believe.
Okay.
And it comes 16 years. They're in the land. They rebuilt the altar. Ezra.
They started well, didn't they?
Yeah, they rebuilt the altar. They began to perform sacrifices, but they got discouraged. They were greatly discouraged. You remember when they began to rebuild the temple, the Ezra chapter 4, I believe, says that the sound of the moaning of the people who had witnessed the prior temple and the sounds of the joy of the people as they built this temple couldn't be differentiated between each other.
Yeah. Those that saw the temple and thought, oh, this is awesome, we've built a temple, and those that had seen the original temple and go, yeah, bro, this is Meccano.
Yeah, exactly.